What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday there was a little hotfix for Black Ops Cold War, and this actually improved the weapon XP rates. Now it also disabled double XP, so we're not earning as much as we were during double XP, but they've now buffed the base rates of weapon XP so we can level up our guns more effectively than we could before double XP, at least in some modes. So in today's video, I just wanted to break down the details of this, do the same sort of testing I did before they adjusted this, to see which mode is now most effective for leveling up your guns, because pre-patch it was Fireteam Dirty Bomb. That was clearly the most efficient method of leveling up guns quickly, assuming you could at least hold your own in Fireteam Dirty Bomb. And now we're gonna see if things have changed. So I did the exact same test here. I took a weapon that was at level 11, that's just the arbitrary level that I chose in the first video, so we're keeping it consistent here. And then I just measured the percentage that the bar would move for 10 kills in zombies, 1 kill in Fireteam Dirty Bomb, and 1 kill in Team Deathmatch. And after this update, 10 kills in zombies moved that bar by 14%, whereas pre-patch it only moved it by 3.6%. So in zombies, we see a very considerable buff to the weapon XP rates. And I should also mention that this is while playing solo. You can get more XP if you're playing in a group. As for Fireteam Dirty Bomb, getting 1 kill in that mode moved the bar by 25%, whereas pre-patch it was 24%. This honestly could be exactly the same as pre-patch. There might be a slight measurement error here, so it might be exactly the same. But in either case, I'm sticking with 25% because that's what I measured here. And then finally, 1 kill in Team Deathmatch. Pre-patch would move the bar by 10% at level 11, and post-patch it's now moving by 15%. So a fairly large boost to weapon XP in Team Deathmatch as well. And this does appear to carry over to all of the other 6v6 multiplayer modes as well. There's just slightly different multipliers to your XP depending on which multiplayer mode you're playing, and I just decided to stick to Team Deathmatch to keep things nice and consistent here. So we can already see zombies got a huge boost to weapon XP, and 6v6 multiplayer modes got a very noticeable increase, although not quite as much of an increase as we saw in zombies, whereas Fireteam Dirty Bomb is about the same as it was pre-patch. Now these values don't mean a whole lot at this point because a kill in Team Deathmatch isn't equal to a kill in Fireteam Dirty Bomb if we're looking at how many kills you can get within a minute, for instance. So just like I did with the first video, let's convert this into XP per minute. And since we don't actually get to see XP values, what I did in the first video and what I'm going to do here is each percentage point that bar moved, I'm just going to call that XP, even though it technically isn't XP. It's just for the sake of having something that's easy to display here. But what I found, for me at least, in Fireteam Dirty Bomb, I can usually get about 30 kills in a 20-minute game, and therefore if we convert that to total quote-unquote XP in a game, that's 30 kills by 25 XP, so we get 750 XP, which ends up converting to 37.5 XP per minute. Then taking a look at Team Deathmatch, when it comes to gun kills, I usually average roughly 25 gun kills in a 10-minute game. And therefore, if we multiply that by 15 XP per kill, we get 375 XP, or, once again, 37.5 XP per minute. It's kind of strange how that worked out, but it appears for me and my playstyle and how many kills I tend to get, this has now been perfectly equalized with Fireteam Dirty Bomb. And then finally, for zombies, which I am no expert in by any means, and I'm sure a lot of people can do better than I did, I started a timer when the match began at round 1, and then I just measured how many zombies kills I could get in 20 minutes, and it turned out to be almost exactly 200 kills. So if we multiply that by 1.4 XP per zombies kill, because keep in mind the 14% is per 10 kills, that gives us 280 of my XP, and therefore this translates to 14 XP per minute. So this is still a huge boost from where we were pre-patch, but it's still nowhere near the level of a multiplayer mode. Although you can see the little note at the bottom there, the rate will increase as you get to higher rounds. That's another thing they fixed with this hotfix, is it seems like you now get fairly consistent XP no matter which round you're on, whereas before, once you reached a certain round, it seems like there was a threshold that you'd reach where XP rates would drop off considerably, and that doesn't appear to happen anymore. So once you get to those higher rounds, there's going to be more zombies to go around, and therefore at that point, you'll be killing far more zombies per minute than you would in the first few rounds. Additionally, like I said earlier, you can increase this XP rate if you play with other people. And of course, keep in mind, I'm no zombies pro. I'm sure many of you guys could do far better than 200 kills in the first 20 minutes of a game. And even beyond that, you're probably going to be able to do quite a bit better than me. But even with those things in mind, you're still not going to quite be able to reach the level of TDM or Fireteam Dirty Bomb when it comes to XP effectiveness with most guns. However, there is something to be said about zombies, especially for using guns that you're not comfortable with in multiplayer. Because keep in mind, 30 kills in a Fireteam Dirty Bomb game or 25 kills in a game of Team Deathmatch, for me, that's assuming that I'm using at least a half-decent gun. I'm not going to be able to achieve that same performance with a pistol, for instance, or a launcher. Whereas in zombies, it's not that difficult to use anything, really. Especially in the earlier rounds, and you could always just grind the early rounds, end the game, and then grind the early rounds again, and just keep resetting like that. And this is why, for me, as somebody that primarily just enjoys multiplayer, I'm not really into zombies. Now I actually see myself going into zombies with some of the guns that I simply don't like using without attachments in regular multiplayer. A great example of this is the M60. I hate the M60 LMG in multiplayer modes without attachments. It just feels like a terrible gun. I have a horrible time playing with it. However, it does improve considerably once you get some attachments on it. So now that I see these new XP rates, I'm definitely going to be going to zombies just to rank up my M60. Or maybe some of my pistols. I'm going to be ranking those up in zombies. And I think this is great to see, and honestly, looking at all of these XP values, I feel like they have really found that sweet spot now. The general feel of leveling up weapons feels much better now than pre-patch. Pre-patch, it felt painfully slow. And then with double XP, if that were to stay consistent for way too long, that would be way too fast of leveling, and we'd run out of weapons to level up if that continued for another couple weeks. So as it is now, I think they really have found the sweet spot, and I do like that zombies is now a great place to go, especially for guns that you're not all that comfortable with in multiplayer. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to just sort of sitting back, relaxing, putting some music on, and grinding out some weapon levels in zombies, rather than going into multiplayer and having to go full-on try-hard sweaty mode just to be able to keep my head above the water with a terrible gun in regular multiplayer. So yeah, overall, my opinion on this weapon XP change, I really do feel like they found the sweet spot, and it's great to see. With every little update we've been getting so far, they have been pushing things in the right direction, and I'm really excited to see what we have with the next big update as well. It seems like this game is just getting better and better as time goes on. Of course, that is just my opinion though. I'd like to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. What do you think of the current weapon XP rates in Cold War? Do you agree with me and think they found that sweet spot, or do you think it's a little bit too slow, or do you maybe even think that it's too fast? Just let me know those thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.